welcome back to my channel. Another boot review. Excuse the noise. I have a fan blowing in my garage as I am based out of Arizona, and it's currently 100 degrees in my garage and only going to get worse. Anywho, this is a Shureway boot review off of Amazon, so I'll just get right into it. These are the Sureways. They're on Amazon, similar to I would say a Thorogood boot. They're the 8-inch mock toe wedge. This one's the safety toe in a tobacco brown. It's just my, my opinion on them, I guess you could say. I'm recording this on my phone, so if it doesn't look like I'm looking dead center, like obviously the lens is over here. Well, anyways, I've had them for exactly a week of work at the moment. That's how they look. Here's the inside here. So first thing, they are true to size. So my normal sneakers, I wear an 11, size 11 shoe. So, and after looking at the reviews on Amazon, a lot of people were saying they're true to size. So I figured I'd give them a shot. Size 11. They come with these insoles in here. Sorry, I have the laces tucked in there. These insoles are actually pretty good. They come in them. I threw them away, but they also come with another set. So if you have a skinnier foot, and I have a pretty narrow, skinny foot, they come with an extra padding that will go in between here and the footbed inside the boot. So if you have an extra skinny foot, I guess you could say. But I've been wearing Thorogoods in the same style, which I have right here in a second. So these are the Thorogoods in the 8-inch mock toe with the steel toe and a wedge. I don't like the heel. As I've said in previous videos, I work in a welding shop, so on a hard concrete floor all day, and I heard that a wedge is best for that situation. So anywho, my review on these here, the second I got them, and like with any other boot, I put a Hubbard shoe grease on them, just to get them lathered up and greased up, just like your skin with lotion. It's good to hydrate your leather, and I take care of them. I have a whole boot cleaning kit that I use. Again, so first thing I did was just lather them up. The first thing I noticed when I was lathering them up, this is my left boot, the Hubbard shoe grease, or the boot took to Hubbard shoe grease just fine, all even and everything. It was weird with the right boot. I received them on a Sunday night, so I greased them up, ready for work on Monday this past week as I'm recording this video. It had little darker blotches on there, like as if the leather was not absorbing it or something like that, or if there was pre-greased or whatever the case is in some spots. Come the morning at 3 a.m., it all blended together, so I don't know. It's got like almost like a rubbery sole on the bottom of it. It's nice it has the stitching on here, prevent the outsole from separating here, which I've had another pair of Thorogoods that did that first weekend. It started separating from here. As far as comfort goes, these things honestly feel like a tennis shoe the minute you put your foot in them. Just like the reviews on Amazon, a lot of people are saying they feel like a tennis shoe, and it's 100% true. Same with the sizing, true to size. It's always a risk, and they're very inexpensive, which was part of it. I think on average they go for $120 on Amazon. When I purchased them, they actually dropped down in price to $94. They have a 6-inch version of it, which were $74 or $75 when I was looking them up the other day. I had a coworker asking about them. They are lined on the inside. I've had a pair of Thorogood, same setup, that were lined just like this. So that might have something to do with it. With the Thorogoods that I have here, I've had countless of pairs of these, and I love them. But the price point, and obviously you get what you pay for. I understand that. With Thorogoods, it's hit and miss sometimes. I have a pair currently upstairs, the same setup, and those were actually my newest ones. It was the dark brown with the black sole, and for some reason they didn't fit. My Thorogoods, I get them in a 10.5 wide because they run a little big and a little narrower than what I like. So the first pair I ever bought that was a 10.5 wide. They fit amazing. I have a pair of soft toe currently that are 10.5 narrow, D I guess, or narrow, and the speed hooks on them are a different style than what usually comes on the Thorogoods. And then my other steel toe that I bought to replace these originally with the black bottoms, they just aren't comfortable at all. Even after trying to break them in and had them for months, they just wouldn't break in. So anywho, back to the Shureway. These things right out the box were good. The only thing I noticed here was, if I can get it up in close with it, is the stitching along here. It's like they crinkled it and stitched it anyways. There's a slight crinkle in it, which isn't a huge deal. Obviously time will tell how long they'll last. My Thorogoods at the last company I was working at was the same thing, shop welding. My boots would last roughly about 6 months. Fortunately for me, I had a boot allowance, so I could buy 1 to 2 pairs a year, you know, and they would cover a certain amount. Obviously I'd have to pay the difference, or if I paid in advance, they would just reimburse me whatever the allowance was. So that was nice. My current job, they give us one once a year, and it's with Red Wing. I went and tried on Red Wings. I've never owned a pair of Red Wings, but there was too many stipulations with that voucher, which is why I never got a pair of Red Wings. But anyways, I'm very picky on my boots as far as comfort goes and style. This is my favorite style, an 8-inch mock with a wedge and a safety toe. I've owned pairs of Timberland Pros, Georgias, hell, even Wolverines, and I kept going back to Thorogoods. But again, at the price point of Thorogoods, you're looking anywhere, if you can find a good deal somewhere else online rather than going to your local boot store. For me, it would be Boot Barn. I know Boot Barn usually has them for about $280, I want to say, so close to $300, I'm sure, with taxes. Again, these came out on their normal price. They're $120. I got them for $95, so I figured, you know what, I like to try a new boot, even if I take a risk on them. And again, when I bought them, they were $94, so I was like, you know what, I'll take the risk. So real grippy on the bottom, as I noticed all week, which was nice. Again, very light on your feet. They feel like a freaking tennis shoe. My feet don't get hot, and again, I'm in Arizona, so they don't get hot even with this insulation or extra padding, whatever you want to call it. So far, I know it's only been a week, and it's kind of hard to judge them after a week, but I put my boots through hell, and I'm not easy on them. And you know, I try to give an honest review as much as I possibly can, as well as other things that I try to when I feel I need to, you know, to help anybody out to make that decision. I say they're a great boot. I've already recommended them to other guys at the shop. They usually buy cheap Walmart brands, and you know, I love my Thorogoods. I'll always go back to those. I'm sure once these go out, if I don't buy another pair of these, it'll be Thorogood. But I figured this time I give something else a chance. There is a pair of Georgias that I would love for Georgias to come out. They do have an 8-inch mock toe wedge sole, but it's a soft toe. And my current employer does not require a safety toe, but being a welder, I prefer one. So I just wish they'd make that style in a steel toe. Wanted to try them out too because they were comfortable. I had a 6-inch of that version and a soft toe, and they're the most comfortable boots I had, or one of the most comfortable boots I had, I should say. But anywho, that's the end of this video. I hope that helps anybody make their decision. So again, this is the Shureway. There's two different styles actually. There's a Shureway, whatever they call the model. This one is the 803 NSWP, if that helps anybody. I don't know if you'd be able to read that in there. Hold it for a second. But there is another pair, almost identical to these, that are called the Heavy Duty. I thought about those as well, but figured I'd go with these. So, again, I've worn Thorogoods. I've had, I'm ashamed to say, but I've had 4 pairs of Thorogoods sitting in my closet at one point at almost $300 a pair. You could do the math on that one. But the way I see it, and I've told multiple co-workers at other companies and my current company, employer, especially the new kids coming in. I've been in the welding industry for over 10 years. I always tell them, your boot is your tool, your most important tool over a welder, over any grinder or any bullshit like that. You're on your feet 10 plus hours a day. Make sure they're comfortable, and make sure they, you know, at least get some life out of them, you know, obviously, depending on how rough you are on them. But at that price point, sometimes it comes from price to comfort and all that stuff. But definitely comfort comes number one, I say, especially if you're on your feet 10 plus hours a day. So, hope that helps anybody. Feel free to comment, and you know, I'd be willing to respond to your comments as I receive them. So I hope that helps anybody, and hope y'all have a great one. Try to stay cool, unlike over here.